Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Artificer Artillerist in Baldur's Gate 3. This is part of the mostly faithful Artificer mod by Craftisan here. The Artillerist gets to summon in these Eldritch Cannons here, and this is the most faithful version of the Artificer currently on console. So I'll be taking you through a full build guide for this. Now, you get the special magical tinkering here at level 1, which is a bonus action that gives you some equipment that you can use. As for cantrips, I like to go with Mage Hand's a solid one, Booming Blade obviously being very strong if you wanted to throw a little bit of melee in there, but Mage Hand and Firebolt are probably the two best. Mage Hand can throw healing potions for your team. You get to pick two different choices of dialogue. Wizard and Gnome is what I typically would prefer to go with here. And we'll roll with a stat spread of 16 Dexterity, 14 Constitution, and 16 Intelligence. Since we'll be doing some ranged attacks here, I'm actually also using the Hand Cannon Gunslinger Pistol mod here by Skirby, so I think this one fits very well in here because you get these nice weapons that, again, are thematic to this build. So we'll roll with the stat spread of this. And once we hit level 2, we get infusions here. Now, the Enhanced Defense can give you a +1 armor set here, which is basically just the fighter's armor that you get at the start of the game. Not really that great. I would actually say that probably the best choice would be to go with like the Boxers of Holding, which will increase your carrying capacity. The returning weapon's okay. This can enable us to do somewhat of like a Tavern Brawler build, but we're going to be using ranged weapons and spells, so I don't think it fits here. We got the Hood of the Night giving you the ability to see in darkness, not magical, and the Lantern of Revealing, which will give you a bonus to perception and see invisibility, and the Cloak of Charming here, which lets you charm person. There's also the Violin of the Sewers, which gives a special instrument that fills vermin with curiosity. We then get to prepare some spells here. It's not a very large list of spells. They're mostly going to be like kind of utility focused ones. I think the best choice would be to go with Long Strider, False Life for 7 extra health, Grease, great crowd control, Fairy Fire to set up your team, and Sanctuary. It's one of the best. It's the best spell here. And upon hitting level 3 here, we get to choose a subclass. As mentioned, I'm going to be going with the Artillerist here. So we get to choose a different type of cannon model. So you can do the Eldritch Cannon or the Eldritch Wand. So you can have a handheld one, which you can shoot with. We're not going to go with that. We're going to go with the stationary one, which we can drop on the ground. It'll shoot at enemies. And it can move on its own, whereas the other one is functioning as a weapon. We are going to keep the spells as we have them there. Nothing really else that we want to throw on there. Level 4 came same kind of deal. We go with the Alert feat for the +5 to our initiative. Being able to move first in combat is a big deal. And we get at level 5 Shatter and Scorching Ray as part of the subclass spells. And we also get some other level 2 spells, but we get to choose an upgraded version of the Eldritch Cannon. We're just going to stick with the Eldritch Cannon for this one, as it's the best choice. We get spells like Invisibility, Web, Enlarge or Reduce, Aid being a pretty solid one for the extra health, Arcane Lock can have some funny abilities. Enhanced Ability is actually a really good one here too, and I'd actually probably recommend grabbing this just so that you feel a bit more of out-of-combat utility that your Cleric could also do, but yeah, it's nice to have it from this character. We also get skill proficiencies. I'd recommend Sleight of Hand if you don't have someone or Arcana otherwise. And for the infusions that we're going to get here, we get some other choices here. So we now get the Radiant Weapon, which can blind enemies. It's kind of a cool choice. The Homunculus Servant, which creates an Arcane Servant. We're going to go with this option here. There's also a shield that can push enemies back, which is kind of cool. The Shield of Repulsion. Boots of the Winding Path, which lets you do a small teleport. And the Ring of Spell Refueling, which lets you regain your spell slots. We're going to go with the Repulsion Shield there. And for the prepared spells, honestly, it doesn't really matter too much. We got everything we want. Magic Weapon can be cool, especially if you're using like a 2024 Player's Handbook upgrade or update mod where it makes that spell a lot better. Level 7 gives us the Flash of Genius skill check. This uses your bonus action. You can give a bonus to skill checks equal to your proficiency bonus or intelligence modifier. So at this point, it's kind of tied. We'll then keep the Blur spell there and continue onwards. Level 8, we continue to keep those spells there. We'll go with either an increase to intelligence. I think dexterity is a better option for ranged weapons on a build like this, so we're going to go with that. Level 9 gives us the Fireball and Sleet Storm spells here. This is a little bit different from what you normally get in D&D, but just because the spell that you normally get doesn't exist here, and I think Sleet Storm actually fits pretty well. We get an enhanced Eldritch Cannon at this level here, and access to level 3 spells at level 9. So we can then take things like Haste here, Elemental Weapon being a nice one. I like to have Glyph of Warning, as you can use this if you're a half-elf and drop it at your feet. It's a sleep bomb. You can do the sleep bomb and then make everyone fall asleep. That's not a half-elf. It's pretty good use. It's also like a short-range fireball for any elemental damage type. Level 10 gives us the magic item Adept. Once per long rest, create a consumable magic items. These will disappear to the next long rest. We're also going to take another cantrip here, and I guess Guidance is a good choice, or Booming Blade. We get some better infusions here. We now get the Winged Boots, which creates boots that let you fly. The Ring of Ability, which will boost up an armor or an ability score by 2 to a max 24, which is really good. And we also get the Helmet of Awareness, which you can create a helmet to stay alert. I'm not sure if that's the intended spelling. There's 2 of them there. Mind Sharpener will then give you a robe that makes it impossible for your concentration to break. I like the Ring of Ability there. Just get a boost is kind of nice. And we'll then go with the Mind Sharpener as well. And we'll take Revivify or Elemental Weapon for our next level 3 spell here. Once we get to level 11, we got the Spell Storing Scrolls. 1 for long rest, create 10 scrolls of an available spell. The items disappear on your next long rest. This is really good because, yeah, scrolls are super powerful in Baldur's Gate. Level 12 then gives us, our final choice in spell here. We'll take Elemental Weapon, and we'll boost up our Dexterity to 20. And unfortunately, this mod does not have level 20 support. It just stops at level 12. So here's the Artificer's Lantern of Revealing, giving advantage on perception checks and the ability to see hidden and invisible creatures. Now, the Hood of the Night, oddly enough, does actually work in Magical Darkness. I don't think that's intended purpose, but yeah, if you're in Magical Darkness, you still get the, you don't get disadvantage in your attack rolls. And here's the Repulsion Shield with a +3 to our armor class, and it'll push opponents back 15 feet. And here's the Homunculus Servant pet here, 37 health, and it's got the 4 strike, and it can do an unarmed strike. So for the spell storing scrolls here, it's actually kind of nice because you get things like invisibility, which are good to have, and also knock. So you don't have to do any type of lock picking at all because knock will do it for you. It also has things like fog, cloud, which is okay, aid. The magic item adept is a little bit better on the other hand, giving you things like 3 arrows of darkness, 3 arrows of many targets, and then some of the different types of elixirs and oils that you can use here. And it also has things like the void bulbs, which are actually really powerful because it can group enemies together. There's also things like the flash blinders and oil barrels, so you got lots of fun options here, but I really think that the Arrow of Darkness, Smoke Powder Arrow, and Arrow of Many Targets are the best choice. Now, if you summon in the Artificer's Mind Sharpener here, it doesn't really tell you the stats of it, so yeah, you still get your 10 base armor class, +5 from Dexterity, and some mysterious buffs that you can't see here. So yeah, not too sure the how effective that ends up being. And you kind of have to guess with these here, like experience is probably wisdom, or the experience, the Ring of Riz, Ring of Knowledge. Yeah, the Ring of the Deafness is the one we're going to go with here for the Dexterity boost. Hey, it's Jason from the future. Well, I summoned in that ring and my PC's been hard crashing for the last 5 minutes, so I don't know what's going on with this mod, unfortunately. Right now, 15 minutes in, it's still crashing. I have no idea what's happening here. I'm sorry, folks. And my game just crashed again when trying to replicate that. So yeah, we're booting her back up, unfortunately. So I just wanted to let you guys know you may experience some issues if you're going to use that ring. I also do want to mention, I did see in the comments that the mod creator did not update this since patch 8, so there may be some compatibility issues, although this was just approved for console today, so it should be good to go, but I'm not sure what's going on here. I was going to try that again and show you guys, but I don't think it's worth going through all that, as the items have been a little bit glitchy for me, unfortunately. The only item I'll be using is the Artificer's Repulsion Shield here. So this again pushes enemies back. I have the Knife of the Undermounted King here for the advantage on attack rolls. I'm just going to quickly go through here because this has been taking way too long for me to film, but the Boots of Stormy Clamor, not a bad choice here if you got an ability drain. I also like to go with something like the Evasive Shoes or Disintegrating Nightwalkers for the teleport, and there is those boots you can get with this subclass. Since we can wear medium armor, we get the Armor of Agility on here for the higher armor class of 26. I also then have the Helldesk gloves on for additional fire damage on our ranged attacks and melee. I also got a Cloak of Protection for boosted armor class. Helmet of Arcane Acuity works great here. If you got an Arrow of Many Targets, you can hit multiple enemies and get your spell save DC up to a +10. Also, the Ring of Free Action, a really great ring. It's not going to slow us down. Any difficult terrain can't be paralyzed. And the Shadow Cloak ring, if we're in darkness or lightly, we get an additional 1d4 of damage, so really good. And I also have the Amulet of Greater Health. I got the 2 pistols from the Skirby's hand cannon mod. I also want to mention that there is a really nice crossbore shotgun mod that would work very well here. Just released on PC last week, but the hand cannons work great. They're on console. Now for Arcane Cannon, we have a Protector one here, which you can pop down. It'll do, it'll heal your teammates. We got the Flamethrower, which will do a 2d8 of fire damage and a cone outwards, and it can ignite things. Then there's also the Force Ballista, which has a longer range and force damage and can push enemies back. I'm going with that option there, as I think it's the strongest. And I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. This subclass is not super strong. It doesn't get an extra attack. It gets half casting. It's in a weird spot where it's kind of good at roleplay, and it has a lot of utility, where in combat, that doesn't really fly. You got Fireball, yes, but that's about it. You have only 3 of those at level 12, when other characters have Cone of Cold and Chain Lightning. This is probably our best damage option, though, all things considered. I also have things like Thunderwave for the pushback, more Garges joints, we're screwed. But yeah, Fireball is probably just going to be one of our best options. Doesn't feel anything special right here, right now. But again, most of our utility is using these items outside of combat, and I've been having a lot of crashing issues with them, unfortunately. So yeah, that did sweet nothing. We're so screwed. I guess I'll just drop another Fireball because I need that target eliminated really badly. So yeah, not ideal, but I'm going to go for it anyways, just because we don't have anything else that we can possibly do in this situation. I do have an offhand attack with the crossbows or just the pistols here, so that at least gives me a bit of damage. Then again, that's not even the class mod. That's just it's an item mod. So yeah, the Artificer is not super strong. We're getting encircled here, which is not great. Our Homunculus isn't going to do a whole lot for us. There's having some odd camera issues with this thing here, but now got to actually be able to do the 4 strikes, so you can attack away with that. Does a little Eldritch Blast and call it a day. Not too bad. And we got this here, Trip Attack. They rolled a 23, mincing to 16 to save. Flash of Genius saving throw, we're not going to use that there. So we're going to save on it, but it prompts it, you can use it. And thankfully I have Psionic Dominus from the Lithid ability, or even Kneecap from the item mod, because Command would have completely shut us down right there, as I have no way to stop spellcasters. Again, that's one of the big downsides to the Artificer when fully adapted like this. It's just not a strong class. So we got our unarmed strike on it. Force Ballista here, bonus action, which can push the creature back, or to explode, which will make it explode and deal damage to everyone in that area. Not ideal to do that. We're just going to go with the pushback here. At 28 damage, actually pretty good. And we got hit with the second command. Unfortunately, we are screwed. I'm getting rid of all the spellcasters with this mod here. Otherwise, this video has been taking hours to film, and it's really late. And that's just kind of the problem with this class, is it doesn't really have its own, like, strengths in combat. Is again a more utility focused one. All you got is those 3 fireballs and a few scorching rays. I will use the actual weapon attack here, but this again is coming from the weapon and not from this mod, and it takes up a full action to be able to do a weapon attack, which is not optimal, clearly. So yeah, we're in a pretty rough spot because you can't really do too much in combat. Luckily I was able to get those 2 there with a fireball, but that was also called a weak. We do have that offhand bonus action attack that we can do here to at least give us something, because yeah, we need something here. For some reason our cannons keep skipping their turns. I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but it kept happening there, so I can't showcase that, unfortunately. The Homunculus is going to miss most of its shots. It's just something you gotta think about whenever you're using it. Honestly, Thunderwave is probably our best chance of actually getting an enemy knocked off, because we got the Arcane Acuity there, so that was a much easier time of landing, and we were able to one-shot him that way. I guess the new meta is just use Thunderwave often as a means of hopefully knocking them off of ledges. Unfortunately, everyone's got to pay the price on this one. I could use my Flash of Genius to save everybody. We're just going to let this go the way it went. The damage was collateral. We got the target we wanted gone. And we finally have one more attack here to do an offhand crossbow pistol attack, which is not enough damage. And I'll just show off the Flash of Genius. It's not going to save her at all, but I mean, I could use it to show it. Oh no, Shadow Hargus got shoved off the edge. That's insane. Wow, what a nightmare. That's actually kind of brutal. This actually got its turn. That's great. I'm going to show the other ability it has, which is to explode. This is not optimal because all my team is paying the price, but hey, you gotta win some. You gotta lose some to win some. Yeah, I guess we'll just end off. We'll do a range attack here. It's kind of the only thing yeah, it's solid. That's the Artillerist. The homebrew one is a little bit more powerful, obviously, but I have some good news. There's likely going to be another Artificer mod coming here soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed. Apologize for all the issues. This video is taking multiple hours of film between everything, and yeah, it just happens that way sometimes. Be careful with that ring. It may cause crashes for you too.